In the early days of the summer of 2015, a small band of adventurous souls gathered in the Muskoka woods to found the Bruce Lake Boat Works, united by the pioneering vision of eccentric innovator Stefan Trotsky. Amid the roiling masses of carnivorous insects, Stefan sought to revolutionize the propulsion of a classic Canadian design through the application of state-of-the-art performance sailing. Can Stefan achieve his vision when faced with scarce materials and pressed for time by his pending nuptials with Dr. Alma Barden? Would the reach of this man's genius and competitive drive exceed his grasp? Stefan, as a sailor, cut his teeth racing J-24s. Over the years, he became deeply immersed in all aspects of the craft, relishing the adrenaline and rigor of competition. But perhaps he was most comfortable at the front of the boat working the spinnaker. It was this experience with the art and science of downwind sailing that, perhaps, spurred Stefan on his visionary odyssey. On the shores of Bruce Lake, Stefan was fortunate enough to find two classics of the Canadian Muskokas upon which to found his boatworks. Fiberglass canoes, one red and one blue, are classic examples of how many Canadians choose to master the recreational domain. Canoes, like these ones, have been using the wind for propulsion for decades, often in the form of jerry-rigged ground sheets or tarps drawn from the camping equipment carried within. But how would they perform under a purpose-built sail system? Only Stefan possessed the vision and drive to find out for certain. The first design, designated X1, drew on the found materials ethos of traditional canoe sailing by using two paddles lashed together for the mast. The sail was a hammock contributed by Dr. Vicky LeBlanc, retired Commodore of the HCSP. The two pioneers embarked on an arduous paddle into a stiffening breeze to begin the first trial voyage of the X1. As Vicky turned back to the shore, Stefan hoisted the mast and set the sail. Once they were established, they successfully jibed and returned to the boatworks triumphant. Despite the success of the X1's first voyage, Stefan had identified a key design flaw in the stability of the mast when focused on trimming the sail. To rectify this, a third crew member was added. His future wife, Alma Barden, would take trimming the sail. The X1's second voyage confirmed the importance of mast stability and a dedicated trimmer as they sailed faster and higher on the wind than they had before. As night fell on the boatwork's triumphant first day, Stefan, not content with the progress yet, began work on his next creation. The X2 would have a purpose-built mast and a boom for improved sail control. The finishing touches were completed on the X2 the next morning, and she was ready for sea trials. The gallant crew, confident in the new design, pushed for a longer run, sailing around the island before setting the sail. As Stefan raised the mast and unfurled the sail, the wind briefly filled it, but quickly died and left the X2 slowly drifting. As they cleared the island, the wind returned. And as they approached the shore, they successfully executed a jibe, returning elated with their success. After such promising performance from the X2, Stefan began to dream of competition, a truly worthy venue to assess the improvements to canoe sailing his visions had wrought. This goal firmly in mind, he set about furnishing the second hull with a rig. The X3, as it would be designated, would present the final set of challenges he would confront. Once again, Stefan constructed a purpose-built mast for the X3, this time using a permanent mast with much more prebend. Unfortunately, other materials were running low. For a sail, Stefan had to use a fitted sheet. Would the elastic edges offer added shape and speed, or would they be too tight and choke the sail and Stefan's dream of racing? Learning from the X2's voyage and eager to start racing, Stefan chose a shorter voyage and quickly unfurled the sail well short of the island. Even though there was good wind, it was not enough to open the sail and get any speed. In a desperate ploy to salvage the design, Stefan used a paddle as a whisker pole. This was a slight improvement, but they returned to the shore far from their previous triumph just hours earlier. Despite the disappointing performance of the X3's initial trials, Stefan refused to admit defeat. As Alma watched from shore, Stefan embarked on a series of solo voyages, endeavoring to learn how to make the design perform. Through persistence, he was able to get the X3 to reliably sail. However, it would never race. As the sun set over the forested hills, so did Stefan's dream of competition and revolutionizing canoe sailing. Both the X2 and X3 were broken down for parts. The hulls were turned to storage, and their masts burnt in the dockside fire. Stefan and Alma returned to the city. On the water, undeterred, both resumed sailing J-24s with considerable success.
Wow. I don't know how you're doing that.
Insurance.
Okay. No,
Ready?
It's not funny anymore.
Ready?
No, it's not. Just open the bottle.
Please open it. If you open it, I'll buy that bit for you.
No? You're giving up.
Prize.
No.
See, why does my phone do that? It takes otherwise
Are you still videoing?
No.
Why?
What? I'm not. Just holding my phone in a weird way.
Well, see, what's my oven? I know my oven.